time you're going to get into bad trades and blah blah blah, and then you're going to um, not do as well. So that's the truth about trading, and then people don't really understand that is that, you know, more isn't better, and that's true, because I literally I had that conversation with someone today, because I was like, well, why have you already entered all these trades before we even get into the session? I'm like, I'm looking at the chart, I'm like, dude, there was nothing really to trade with, you know what I mean? Well, you know, I gotta try to make some money is the response, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. You trying to force trades and just opening trades because you have to make money is like the exact reason why you're not making any money. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? I've been talking to you about this for a while, right? So, like, hey, man, if you stop taking all of the shit setups, when you finally get a good setup, you don't have to recover losses. I mean, just a little bit of thought into that, and you can, you know, it goes a long way. But people don't understand that, and it's like, yo, so how about stop staring at the chart all day and getting tricked by price action, right? And turn off your candles, do this, and set alerts, and then don't even look at the chart. Yeah, the end cap's really good for defining risk. Another really good one for the 4-hour end cap works really well with gold too. That's what Missy likes to trade that a lot. She trades the 4-hour end cap with gold, and you know, you get 1 or 2 setups a day, but you're holding it. You know, you're holding it throughout the day. So I'd say it's a good. They're good trades. Got Gloom. So we have, you know how we have the prop firm beta, the prop firm engine, beta being beta tested. It's in final stages. Hopefully I can get a production out soon. But he said he put it on some funded accounts, and he just caught a payout with it. I'm serious. Where is it at? Let me get that screenshot right there. Here you go. Here's what he's. Oh, that's not gonna work. Here's what he said. Let me show you. Watch. I'm like, you're crazy, man. You put a beta version on some PA accounts, but there you go. Crazy. I'm like, bro, you're crazy, but hey, man, more power to you. You're willing to risk it. I'm not. I'm only running them on Sims testing, but I'm doing like stress tests. I'm trying to break it, you know. So I think we've given enough bullshit time right here to allow people to come in. If they're gonna come in, they've been here by now. What time is it? 8:20. Okay, let's just get started. We're gonna like I said, I got institutional alerts going off because we're on there, and let's see. Delete that. Then I have my black flag alert thing there. There we go. I don't want to keep getting alerts. Oh, someone just asked me if I was doing the Zoom tonight. I'm like, yeah. Let me blast the link out real quick. There we go. Just in case they did I do the right one? Yeah. Oops, here we go. Here's some people popping in. go. I love how people um they're. Are you guys aware that we have a I know Beth is a affiliate program. Right. So yeah, the you guys, if you because some people are just asking me that like X, so I might as well bring it up. Yeah, we do have an affiliate program. You get 20% of the subscription from any referrals you bring. You own that referral for life. So even if they don't purchase anything the first time they come in, they're already tagged. So they're yours for life. I can give you a coupon code that's just your coupon code that will give them a 15% off their first order. And that will also lock you in as their referral. And then, or you can use a link. So that's all into the WAP. It's all automated. If you want the promo code thing, you have to just ask me for it and I'll create you one. But there's a lot of interest being generated online, and people are responding people are responding pretty well to what we're doing. So if you wanted to do that, just let me know and I can send you the link or get you a promo code if you want one. But so the purpose of this Zoom here, not everybody's been, not a couple of you guys were here yesterday, but we're gonna do it again. Is basically we're gonna talk about the most effective way to use the system right now in current conditions, so that we can start seeing more members posting payouts and getting the accounts passed. Because obviously we're not like, an influencer group, whatever type thing, where we make a bunch of money off selling failed prop firm accounts. We make money if you guys are successful because people cancel if you're not, and then they don't promote what we do to other people. So it's in our best interest to help you be successful at what you're doing and show you how to use these tools to the best of your ability. And last year, I spent most of my time on development and research and things like that. This year, I'm going to be spending a lot more time on education and really trying to drive home using things correctly. And a lot of it is honestly, it's not even this, it's just psychology. But that's kind of my goal this year. So we're going to be doing a lot of these types of Zoom calls and trying to really push people to start getting into a different mindset about trading, when they should be getting into trades and things like that, and really focusing in on becoming professionals and not just thinking that this is, well, where do I enter, right? So there's a list of things that you've got to become really good at in order to become successful at trading and to make any type of money, especially if your goal is to, quit your job or whatever it is. I don't know what your goals are, but it's good to have a goal. I call it the trading why, or whatever it was when we did our boot camps. But basically reminding yourself, why are you even doing this? Because this is stressful. Like, you can go through really hard periods of time in trading and get stressed out and crash and burn, honestly. And it sucks. So One really good point that I forgot to point out yesterday, but today I'm going to do it is I want you to think about the 5 levels of traders. There's 5 levels of a trader, right? And if you go into our the Discord, there's actually a post about it, and I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen right here so that you can see it, and let's just go over that briefly real quick. And this is something that you just need to be 100% brutally honest with yourself, right? And decide which level you're at, because you can't go from level 1 to 4, level 3 to, or level 1 to 5, or 2 to 5. You have to go through these stages to in trading. It's gonna happen to you regardless, and the only way you're gonna move up is if you're honest with where you're at, and then realize that's where you're at, and then you take the steps to go from this one to this one. Okay, so go into the Discord in the First Light Beacon one, and click on your level, right, and read it and see where you're at in your journey of trading, right? And you'll be able to start the process in your own mind psychologically of moving up that level, because the first level is when you first start trading, and some people get still stuck here, is you're just chasing price, and you're using like every indicator on the planet, and you're trying everything, and if you lose a trade, this strategy doesn't work, and you try, you're just by the seat of your pants type stuff, and you're gambling, right? You're not really doing anything. You think you are. You might win a trade or two, and then all of a sudden you're I can if you go into the trading in the waiting room, stay there, and I'll move you over. Sorry. And yeah. Anyways, well, I don't need to. There we go. So, but then when you go on to level 2, which is what we call the strategy tourist, right? So somebody that is a little bit better than gambling. They're kind of like finding a way just a little bit. They're using all kinds of indicators and strategies, and jumping from course to course and Discord to Discord, and they're all over the place, right? They get a little bit of success on a couple trades. They lose a trade. Oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. I've got to find something else that works, right? That's kind of like your strategy tourist. That's the level, and everybody went through it. I went through it. I went into some stuff. I jumped around, and then I'd be okay for a couple days winning some trades, and I lose a trade and be like, this strategy sucks. This doesn't work, and I would look for something else, right? And this right here is the killer. Level 2 right here is the killer for traders. They are the ones that get stuck for years and years and years. These are your reset buyers. Okay. These are the ones these are the guys that all the prop firm influencers and the gurus and furus, these are the guys that the level that they're marketing to. These are the people that they want to get into their courses or systems or whatever else, right? Is level 2 traders, the strategy tourists. And the reason why is because this guy is just going to go around and look for everything he can to try to become successful at trading. He's going to buy everything he can. He's going to try everything he can. He's going to reset 15 accounts a month or more. This is the person that they're after. This is the money maker for those types of people. This is, you know what I mean? And then if you get stuck in that loop with those types of gurus and furus and prop firm influencers and everything else, if you don't realize that you're in that loop, you're stuck there forever. You're literally going to be just paying the paycheck of somebody that pushes prop firm codes. Okay. That's what happens when you get locked into this right here. And a lot of people stay in this for years until they realize it. And it sucks, right? And I made a conscious decision when I first started doing all this stuff, not to go down that road, not to push the prop firm codes like that and everything else. I was offered it. I said no, and I'll grind it out and I'll do it my way. And even if I can only turn 10 or 20 people over the period of time that I do this into profitable traders, that's cool. I don't care, because more than likely they'll spread the knowledge, right? And eventually we become mainstream, and it's just, it is what it is. Anyway, so let's move on. So level 3 right here is our break-even grinders. So these are the guys that make money, right? And then they give it back eventually, right? They make money and then they give it back, and it sucks. And this is the one where most people have this level is the break-even guys. They've gone through hell, right? Most people take some years to get here. And once they get here, they see some success and they see some green and they see some payouts and stuff like that. But they haven't quite gone past like their break-even point. Like, they haven't made money. They're still spending money. They're still depositing into the market. They're not pulling more out than they're making, and they're break even. This is where traders die. This is where most people come in. They go into this and eventually they just quit because they just never get to the point where they're actually making any money. And that's your break-even trade, your break-even traders. And honestly, this is where most people get eventually. And then they leave. And it sucks because at this level right here, it's literally just a couple things you have to do with your psychology, and you leave it. You break away from this level, right? And it sucks to see I've seen it happen to a few more than enough people where I'm just like, damn, man, you're so close to your own breakthrough, and you quit, and it's just part of it. This is what happens. And then you got your level 4 where you actually get into process trader. You actually understand, okay, risk management, position management is not an option. That is a requirement to be successful in trading. That's where you start to understand that right here. And this is where most people stay if they actually get past level 3. They get through their own mental blocks, right? If they get through their own mental block on level 3, when they get to level 4, that's where your consistently profitable traders rest most of the time for the rest of their lives, right? And then you'll have some guys that get to level 5 or whatever and become elite traders, and that's the value operators, right? And they're the ones that understand value and wait for value to enter markets. These are your guys that are making your 7-8 figures, right? Those are the type of people. So just be honest with yourself. Go into Discord if you haven't done this yet. Look at the 5 levels of traders and find out which one you are. And in your own mind, go, yep, that's who I am, and I want to move up. And just focus on moving up the levels, right? And then you'll start to do better. And just understand, especially if you're not profitable yet, that you have to go through these steps. This is a psychological process of trading. There's no getting around this. You have to do it. You're going to go through these whether you want to or not. And it's like everything else in life. We're our own worst enemy. We fight ourselves to do what we need to do to actually succeed. It's just human nature. It's just we want to get there as fast as possible, and we want to try to skip steps and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work, right? So anyways, I just want to start out with that, is just run through the levels 1 through 5. You're going to find this in any basic trading course structure anywhere in the world. This is kind of like the standard, right? Of leveling out or assigning levels to traders. Just kind of, so it makes it so that you can find out on yourself, where am I at in my progress of learning, how to be successful in this industry. And it's not the entry. The entry, like, everybody focuses so much on entry, when entry is like the least important thing. It really is. Because I can take a bad entry and still win the trade. I can take a bad entry and lose the trade, right? It's all based on my psychology. So entry is like, stop focusing so much on entry. If you're not already getting payouts, and start focusing on process, right? And you'll start to see results. All right, let's swap over back to the chart and go over what we're here. Thanks, Marlene or Damien or whoever. Yeah, thanks. All right, let's change over to, there we go. So what have I got going on? Why am I even doing this? Well, so after all of last year and the year and a half, or the half of the year before that, when we actually went live with offering our offerings to the public, I've gone through all of our churned users, all of our trialers that didn't convert into users, all of the feedback that I've got from everybody over the system, and even the ones that are successful, and the ones that aren't. And I've talked to a lot of people. We're probably hundreds, and wrote down notes. And then honestly, I fed all that stuff to AI and said, how do I fix this? Or how do I make it better? Right? Just data points. And it's just, I'm doing what it told me to do. I'm spitting it out. So basically, current conditions of markets suck. All right. Geopolitics are destroying most people's P&L. Some people are able to capitalize on this. Most aren't. You got your mean reversion traders. They're able to capitalize on some of this stuff, but the squeezes are so hard that if you don't catch the absolute top or bottom, you're going to get wrecked in drawdown, right? So unless you're holding 10, 20% drawdown, even the mean reversion traders are getting wrecked. Your ICT traders, they're getting wrecked, most of them, because they're being used as liquidity pools, because it's probably the most popular, one of the most popular trading things out there for retail traders. And the market makers know their strategy to the T. So they use it. So if I had enough money where I knew a bunch of ICT traders were going to enter on this inverted fair value gap, or this fair value gap, or I know they're going to short the hell out of this top over here, or buy, I would use that liquidity to fuel my own positions, right? Even if I had billions and billions and billions, I would use them too. So that's what's happening to a lot of them. And I'm actually getting an influx of those traders like asking me, hey man, what's going on over there? Because they're getting wrecked. It's just, we're not in trending markets, and those types of strategies work in trending markets. And most of your strategies that are designed they're pushed by brokers. They're pushed by an industry that makes money when you either enter trades. So that means they want you to enter as many as possible because they want the commissions from all the entries in the orders, or they make money when you fail, right? And then those are the people that are pushing out all of the strategies that are used in the world. Seriously, you got brokers constantly pushing moving average strategies and this and that, blah blah blah, because they want you to enter as much as possible, so they make as much money as they can because they want you to enter. They get paid their commissions. Then you have all the prop firms that make money if you don't win, and then the affiliates that push them, right? So they get all their business from affiliates. So the affiliate makes money if you don't win, and that's just the reality of it. And then candles themselves were developed by people and banksters in markets so they could use it to manipulate you so that they could make money from you entering in the market, because they know how to use it. They invented the shit, right? So I just was sitting around one day and I'm just like, I'm just going to turn off the candles, right? And Beth knows this, but I've been preaching drawing the trend lines on the value areas for a long time. And then I'm like, I just one day was like, okay, I'm sick of this chop. So I'm just going to, if this thing breaks this right here, I'm just going to fucking do it. And I did. And then I won. And I was like, holy shit, that was cool. Right. And I won the trade. And I'm like, I didn't even give a shit about the candles. I took this trade right here last night at 1:30 in the morning, all the way down here to $2,400 is what I made on this trade. Right. And why and why did I do that? It's very simple. And I have, and if anybody doesn't believe me, I record every trade, and I'll pull up the video for this trade if you want to see it. But if you look, we're in a bearish territory, right? Here's our daily candle right here, this right here, and then here's our opening range. And then we get a bounce off our ladder level, right? And I'm like, okay, we're bearish as fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna take this trend breakdown. I got my volume profile on this leg here, and it's dumping back into the area high, right? So I'm like, okay, I just short the shit out of it, and I just run down with it when I finally get my break, and I just run it down. And when I feel like that we're good, I get out of the trade, or I trailed it, or I don't remember honestly. I did 2 of them last night. Like I ended up making like almost $5,000 last night, trading overnight, because honestly lately the market has been like way better overnight than US session. So I've just been fucking trading it and having a great old time. The setups take a little longer to get into, but they're working. I'm sorry. Hold on a second here. There's that. Did he just ask me how much money do I make? Is that what he said? Did anybody hear that? Anyways, so that was so that, you know, oh, I didn't want to undo this. I need those 10 lines. Crap. Whatever. All right. So for those that don't know, let's go over this real quick on Trade Shield and what it is, and I will start from there. Just turn these off. We'll go into that, and but this is, there's that. All right, so this is Trade Shield. Okay, let me explain it to you real quick. When I turn on the stats or whatever, this is sampling almost 1,800 days right now, with 4-hour candles. And what it's telling you is 68.9% of the time we're in a trend phase, and 31% of the time we're in a rotational on a daily basis. All right. And how it pulls this information is it goes from this data right here. For example, this would be considered rotational. This is your daily candle, right? Turned into this zone right here. And we break down from the open. So, and then we flip back up into bullish territory at 8 o'clock here. That's considered rotation, right? This one right here is considered trend. So we break up, we never come down, right? This is rotational. This is considered trend right here. So if you, and this is where it really shines, and it's really telling you that like these pushes here are false breakups and you know, false breakdowns. It's really good at telling you when not to get into trades, right? So we open at 6, we get a breakdown, we push up, and then right before the open, we drop back down again. Well, how do we know it's not a fake breakdown? Is because the zone's down here and it's red, right? And let me give you an example of when that isn't like that and it does break down. And we know that it's a false breakdown right here. So this is a push up down. The zone never came down red. So we know this is false breakdown and it pushes up during US Open. And then this one right here is telling you that the breakdown is real. Right here at 9:30, it breaks down, the zone's staying with it, and it drops, right? And then here is a false breakdown. We know is a false breakdown because we push up, we come into US session right here. The zone is staying green and not following price, and price then comes and sweeps back up. Here's another one that's a false breakup. We come down at 9:30. So this is really helping you determine like what is price action right at the open. Is it real coming down? Is it real going up? It's going to show you all that. So here again, 9:30 breaks down. We know it's fake. We shove up again. The zones, it's extremely hard to manipulate them. So you're seeing value in real time on the interval. So it's extremely accurate. I don't fight anymore, and since I stopped fighting it, my trading's become ridiculous. But let me see, what's that? Yeah, what's up, Michael? Oh, there you go. There you go, Michael. You can talk. What's up? Hello? Yeah, we'll just ask the questions in the chat, and then I'll answer them. And then we'll go from there. But if you're here to cause problems, just leave. I don't have time for you. We'll go from there. But yeah, so that's what Trade Shield. It sounds like I'm talking in a fan. Or Michael. Oh, the Michael guy? Yeah, that was I don't think I sound like a fan. Anyways, continuing, I'm not going to get bogged down with this. So that's what Trade Shield is, and the Trade Shield is built into the FLB, and you'll see it up here on the top. So it's literally telling you bullish or bearish throughout the day, and that's where it's getting its information from. And is this right here? You don't see it on your chart because it was just caused too much information. But that's where that's coming from. So I just like to explain that to people. This right here is extremely beneficial to knowing true bias of the day, and knowing when you're getting into false breakdowns. Like this is a false breakdown right here. I love trading false breakdowns, especially when you're coming into US Open. If you look at any of my videos and see me entering and slamming contracts, either live or recorded on the Open, and I mean on the Open, this is how I'm doing it, right? I'm seeing this play out in real time, and I'm going with the flow. I'm not hesitating, right? So we come in, here's 920. This is what it's looking like on your screen. Boom, that breaks up over. I'm getting into the trade, right? And then there it goes. And it's literally that simple. So when you see me scalping the Open like that, that's what I'm doing. It's not hard. It's very simple to do. And that's how I take those trades when I do that. Now, when we get into the actual First Light Beacon, you're going to have multiple settings in here and configurations you can play with, right? So here is the settings, and you can go into two different trade modes. You have your session and you have your time-based, right? And session is going to allow you to use the session names, which is New York, London, Asia, pre-market, 350 algo, or initial balance. So if I click on, say, New York, what's going to happen is it's going to generate your value from the Open of New York all the way to the next day's Open in New York. So this is 9:30. Well, that's on the daily candle. Hold on. There we go. I don't know why I did that. There's a Sunday to, oh, because Sunday, yep. So here is your like 9:30 Open, and then here's your value dropping down. It's showing you as the progression of the session goes on, right? And you can see where that goes. So we have traders right now. Honestly, they'll take the rejection of it, put their stop loss on the zone, and let it run the rest of the day until they're happy, and then they close it. I swear to God, it's what they do. See, here's another one where that would have worked. And then here's a long one where it would have worked. And there's a couple guys that's all they do, and it's interesting because they are the ones that make the most money. So I guess they have the balls to just hold. So you can change to New York 350, whatever. It does that from these settings right here. Then we have our time-based stuff. We're going to time-based, and we're changing it based on the interval we want. So here I'll show you a 4-hour. So this is turning these candle into 4-hour zones, and every one of these zones is a 4-hour candle modified and turned into an area of value, right? And if you compare that with our institutional ladder, which is just a figure we found for the instruments that we have support for, which is these 4 NQES Gold and Tesla, you will see that price interacts with them a lot, and you'll see that's where a lot of things take place. But this is the like, I like to show this one for trend break traders, because you got, you know, some trend break traders out there in the 4-hour that charge thousands of dollars for courses on how to trade trends. Well, here you go. Here's a trend break right here. And you can, it's all alert customizable. So you can sit here and you can literally take those trends. I stop below value, target to high value. There's your 4-hour trend break right there. It's not rocket science, but to go into the way that's being used right now, we have our value areas, right? And we're creating what is called a value chart. And I'm using the 15-minute zone for that. Okay. And then I'm coming in and I'm looking at where is price relative to these institutional zones here. And I'm looking for the breaks in value to get into those trades without candles, because the candles, they're honestly, they're designed to manipulate you. And I found more success when I'm not looking at them, and it stops me personally from getting into emotional trades and the blue squares. I don't know what you mean by blue squares. Just give me a moment. And if you're not receiving payouts right now for our existing members that are here and watching on other streams and avenues, the value break system, the way I'm doing that is going to be honestly the fastest way for you to start getting returns, right? And I proved that to everybody. Was it last week or the week before? I went and bought a 50K eval, and I traded just the value breaks, no candles, right? And what did I do? I passed the Legends 50K in 2 days with what was it? I think it was a 13.99 profit factor. $240 in losses and 3,100 in wins, and just trading the value breaks. Just doing the system I'm about to show you and break it down exactly. So here is, right here. How do I share this real quick? I just want to share this so people are like, where is it at? Browser, there it is. Share. So it's right here. This video right here is showing you. So evaluation passed, whatever. You can come watch it. It's called Trend Strategy. That actually works on the Breakout Hunter YouTube. And then here's the report right here. 3,200, 240 in losses, 70.59 in win. Here's all the trades that were taken in the 2 days. You can come through the video, you can watch it, and it literally goes into an extreme breakdown on the setup. And then I show, some examples of the trades that I was in right here, so you can see them, and you just see that I'm literally just trading the breaks of value down. I have a high time frame indicator on right here, and so I can just see that one last candle, and that's it. So what I'm about to show you is real, and it's not bullshit, and it actually works, and it works really well. And if you're struggling as a trader right now in these markets, this honestly I think is the answer, is doing that right there. So right now Trade Shield is saying we're bullish right here, right? And if we take our break of 2 zones, so this is a 15-minute candle zone right here, and this is a 15-minute candle zone right here. Until you really learn how to read it, you can turn on labels and it'll show you where it starts and stops, right? So the 15 started here, 15 started here, 15 started here. So this is the end of that zone. This is the end of that zone. So the way you draw the trends is putting the trend start at the top of the end of the zone. So like this. So this is where the zone ended. You put your trend right here at the top, and this is where the zone ended. So we put that trend line at the top of that one right here, like that, right? And that's the proper way to draw it, like this. It's really easy to see it when it's like this, but price did some crazy shit right here, so it's kind of like warped around. But that's it right there. And then when this breaks up, you take the trade, and then we put our stop below the value, and then we target the next ladder. That's it. That's how you do that. And I nailed a 10 RR last night doing this right here. And that is that's how you get into the trade. So this would be a 10R if it hits. But I nailed one last night, 10R. That short was 10R. Pretty crazy. And that is that's the value break strategy right there, and that's it. There's nothing more to it. Now it just goes into there's some other things that you got to consider. Like right here, like somebody asked me, where's it at? This one right here, would I take this? Yes, I would. This is the trade I did take. So we interact with the ladder right here, and then it pushes up. Well, we were still bearish on Trade Shield, and we were still under our zones and everything. This was just a really wild squeeze, right? And when we broke trend down, I shorted it. And there's your your trend right there. And if you look, you'll see here's your first zone flat, right? Here's your second one at the bottom, because we're going down to we're trying to break down, and that's how you would draw that. And then there's your value break, and then you're focusing on this zone, not price, because price will break out of places. It'll break out of support to resistance. It'll break out of trends and everything else, but the value area won't go with it. So right then it's fake, and you just don't take the trade, right? And that happens. It happens a lot. But you will know that the trade is fake because price will break trend, or price will break a support or resistance, but your value area will not. It'll stay right above it, and it'll keep on going. And you'll notice that price just whips right back around and goes up, and you know that we're not breaking down yet. So it's really helpful in determining, like, are we going to, is this a false breakout or false breakdown or a false support break, false resistance break? Things like that. And that's a lot of where most people are really trying to get into trades is we're trying to catch those momentums, right? Those momentum shifts and pushing away, instead of sitting in a trade for hours, just watching it chop in and out of, drawdown and breaking out and finally going or losing, right? I prefer to get into trades that are pushing in with the momentum. It's better on my psyche to know that it's pushing away from my entry and not chopping around my entry, right? And that's exactly what this trade did right here. If we would have taken it, and this is live, I wish I would have taken it, but it's already, it's already up 4R. There's your candles, and you can see it right there. Damn, it should have been, if I wish I was paying attention, I would have actually executed this. But that's it. That's a hell of a trade right there, just if you close it right now. So there's an example of what you could have done on a live execution, trading to value, knowing that this is the area to trade from because we have our ladder. We know direction's good because we have bullish trade shield, and then we have the value actually breaking through your trend line there, and it's green. So everything on this one is badass. But that is the gist of the value break. And honestly, if you're not making money right now trading, this is my own members. This is what I'm saying. Hey, start doing this if you want to start pushing it, and stop staring at the screen. Right? Stop staring at price action. Set the alerts, turn it off, and then come back when we interact with our ladders right here. Right? because there's alerts on the on everything right here, and you can get an alert when we touch the ladder. Now, as far as the this is the 15-minute, Marlene, right here. So you're waiting for, it's literally 30 minutes, right? So because you need 2 of the zones to be able to have enough data to see if we're going to get the break or not. So you have your first 15-minute, which is this right here. And then we have our second 15-minute, which gave us our 2 touches. So you need a minimum of 2 touches to accurately draw this, right? Some people are like, well, can I go from here to here? And, this is what it looks like when you're doing that. And this one would have worked out drawn like that. But there's so many times where it doesn't, it's not worth it, right? So I wait for the close of at least 2 and draw from the top of the end to the top of the end, right? Like just like that. And that has been keeping me on the better side of winning than on the losing side. I'm doing that right there. And this is honestly all I've been doing since I started that Legends challenge. And I have since then put 2 more Lucids into funding stage, and they're getting ready to go and pay out the flexes. So I love those flex accounts because you don't have to buffer once you get funded. And there's no consistency on the funded on them. So I just fucking let it rip, right? And so that's why I like those accounts. But so those are 15-minute zones. Some people are using 5s. I think the 5-minute are too tight, and they give off some too many false signals. So we're going, those are 5-minute zones there. I don't. So if you would have taken this, you would have taken it from right. So where's the end? The end is right there. Yeah. So you would have taken this break and gotten the drawdown, and it finally wins. I like the 15 out of all of them. And then I really like the 4-hour confluence, right? So I turn on another one, and I turn on the 4-hour right here. And I use legacy coloring, not the regime coloring. And that's not 4 hours, is it? No, I went to the wrong one. So here's our 4-hour candle now. And it's really showing, are we really bullish above our high time frame? So for those that don't know that, this is the 4-hour candle, this is the 15. So we're seeing 2 different values of 2 different intervals interacting with each other on the chart. You can put as many as you want on there. I use to swing trade all year on annual trades. I use the monthly and the annual zone right here. And with 25 years of data, it's 85% win rate, and you can hold basically. You can get in. You get the signal at the beginning of the year on like ES or something, S&P, and you can hold the entire year until December. Pretty easy using the setup that way, but this thing's really taken off. So that's awesome to see. Yeah, there is a lot of ways to use it. There's quite a few strategies. And honestly, that's been the problem for some people is there's too many things going on where they're like, I just don't know what to do. I'm looking for everything. That's why I'm pushing this right now in our own community. Trade to value breaks, go level to level, and don't deviate from it, and just do that. Right? Not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing, and it's working in current conditions. And just go level to level. Don't try to be a hero and run up to the next one, etc. And let the trade breathe. Let it run, right? And your success is the probability of success is a lot higher. This is about to take yesterday's high, which is right about here. What are we getting into? 115-ish. So that's pretty much the gist of the update that I wanted to push out to everybody. Then I just opened it to the public if anybody want to come in and ask questions, because they've been either seeing me or other people ranting and raving about what we're doing, and they don't understand it. So that's why we opened it up to the public, and you are more than welcome to ask whatever questions you want. And we will start that part of the process right now. And if you want to see something specific, don't be afraid to ask. And I will pull it up and do whatever I can. We had some trolls that came in here that think they're ICT traders. They're little ICT cult guys. And they were the ones that were in here causing problems and basically just like, this guy is like trying to say blah, blah, blah. Hey, while I'm saying it, look at what we're doing live. Look at this. What is the use for the end caps? Perfect questions. Let's turn some on. Okay. We're going to go into, we'll go into a higher time frame. We'll go into 4 hours and we'll turn on the end caps right here. Okay. All right. Let's go into like a 5-minute candle. We'll turn off the lower time frame, turn everything else off just so we can show you. So the end caps are where the previous intervals ended, and there's a zone that's created from that. So this is a 4-hour zone right here. And this is where the new one started, right at 2 p.m. Where we get our high and low. And here's a prime example of what the end caps are used for. Right? So we get rejections off of them. And we take trades off of them, and it gives you a predefined entry, risk, and take profit. So once they've been fully mitigated, they're gone forever, right? So let me delete this or replay this. So here we go. We're bouncing up. We hit that. Here's this end cap right here. Now we have entry, risk, target. Yep. And then we have, like, obviously you're not going to reject all of them, but we have strategies and ways to find out which direction you should be going. And that's all in the strategy section in our Discord, where it's, explaining a lot of this stuff. But what it really shines is if you're looking at a lot of assets, we could go into like this right here. Let's go into the like, I don't know, weekly zone here. So we'll turn on the weekly candles interval, and then now we have a weekly with weekly end caps, right? So here is these are daily candles. So here is a rejection off a weekly right here on Monday. Was it the 9th? And it starts pushing back up. See that? And so there's that. And then you have rejections all the way down here from God knows who knows how long ago. This is going all the way back to 2020. You have rejections. And what you can do with this is where it gets really cool. You can't do it on NinjaTrader. You have to do it on TradingView for something like this. I just can't get it to do it on NinjaTrader. But we come over to, or you can go into a monthly. I do this with the monthly. So how I do this. So I go to 1 month zones. I have my end caps, right? You'll see that right there. You'll see this right here. This is for holding, but you can do this in short time frames as well. It's the same setup. But I go into my watch list right here, and I have a list called alerts, right? And all the assets that I'm paying attention to right here, I want to know if we get a rejection off of a monthly end cap like this right here. I go over here, I click add alert to the list. I switch it to the FLB. I come down here and I go to end cap rejection, wherever it is, right here, set alert. Any one of these assets rejects one of these monthly end caps now, I'm going to get an alert on any one of these. Anything that you put in your list. The entire list now has the alert set for these end cap things. So even if I only get 3, 4, 5 of these a year off of the monthly one, I'm going to buy and hold that. Those are the ones that I buy and hold, right? And then I get into different ways of going about how to exit and stuff like that. But for entries, that's what I'm doing. So I'm not even scouring the charts looking for anything. I just have the alert set, and when the condition like this is hit right here, this one right here, and then if we go back further, I'll show you. I'm going to know about it on any asset that's in my list. So if you wanted, so we have a couple of stock traders, and this is how they screen for their stocks. So every week they have the weekly zone set, right? Like this. And they'll have a list of every stock on that they want to play with, right? And they just set the alert, and whichever one fires, that's what they're trading. I mean, seriously. And then you could do the same thing on so the annual thing right here I was talking about earlier. So I'll show you that real quick. Well, since we're sitting here, we go to monthly candle here. There's a monthly, and then we have our monthly, and then annually. Okay, there we go. And I actually turn off the fill, and I only want to see the middle lines for this. That's the monthly. I do want to see, I don't care about end caps, but I do care about the fill on the annual. So how I trade this and how I get into holds on a long-term basis is here's just a really good example. Is the white is your monthly median, okay? Once that breaks away from the annual one, which is right here, so this was 2023, January 31st. It broke away right before we were going into February. So this is my first indication. I just have an alert set that when this happens, I go, okay, cool. And then I start paying attention to whatever that stock or asset is, right? And I look for the pullback into the yearly 12-month one, middle line right here on the daily candle, right? And then once we get that break back away from it, I just enter. Doesn't matter where. I'm not looking for perfect entry. I enter, and my risk is the bottom of the annual, right? And then I hold it. I don't even look at candles again. I set an alert for this to come back through this, right? If it never goes back through it, I don't even look at this thing until the end of the year and close it in December. Here's December right here, right? So, and then I get into the weekly. I add a weekly zone, and I use that for finding any type of re-entries or anything like that. So I go into right here. Where are you? And we show that and that. And then now the yellow is my weekly. If I get a cross down on the weekly and it doesn't come down to the annual and it breaks back up above the monthly, I enter again. Right? So this yellow is the weekly and this white is the monthly. So your re-entry point would be, okay, we came down, we came up, we broke up right here. Here's another entry right here. Boom. Right? And then I'm doing something like that. And, there you go. And so now you've got two positions running and you're just letting them run all year. It's better that if you're going to do this to really get into the S&P, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. I don't want to tell people to do. To automate what? This right here? Our automation services are, just message me on the WAP and we can talk about it. And maybe we can do something custom for you, right, Ken? But yeah, so that's how I get into the annual stuff. And then you can do this same thing on the smaller time frames. Like you can go, okay, well, I don't want to do the annual. I want to do, let's just say, let's go with the highest is your month. And then we go with a your mid is a week, right? And then we go to a daily on this one right here. And then you can get into, let's turn off this one for now, but okay, there we go. So here's a good example right here. The start of November, there it is. We get the breakthrough here, right? And then we go, okay, I'm going to wait for some kind of a pullback. Here's a pullback. And then we enter probably right there. I don't know if I would use daily candles for this. Honestly, I would not. I probably would use 4 or 1 hours. So let's change that. You're going to see more defined pullbacks. Trying not to cherry pick, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible to show you how it works. So here's the beginning of one. We get a break here, right? Here's a pullback, breaks up. I would probably hesitant on this until I saw this wicked out candle here or something. But anyways, we'll just say we entered there. Our risk is the bottom, right? And then we're holding, and we don't get any cross throughs. Where did it go? Somewhere around there. I don't know. That was a little higher. And then here is just before Friday. So here's Friday, like around there. I would probably close on Friday. So there's something you could hold all week, right? Get into weekly holds. This one right here, you probably would have gotten out right here, breakthrough, because it did cross down and then come back up. But I would have re-entered right, around here somewhere. And that would have, no, that was decent. That was a monthly push out of the, or a weekly push out of the monthly zone right here. So that would have been a decent run right there. That's a whole week right there of MNQ. So you can do that on the smaller time frames, and you can even go down smaller, right? But I wouldn't suggest it right now with conditions. I would just do the value breaks, but you can even go down into, I don't know, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and just repeat the same shit, just smaller time frame for scalping. But I would just stick with the value breaks for now. Because there's a lot of chop. The candles are being wicked like crazy, which is meaning you're going to have to reduce risk to the point where scalping, you're going to feel like you're not even making any money. And then you'll start over leveraging, over trading, over positioning. And then you'll just, that's the kind of shit that happens to people. It just starts to cascade and it's just not worth it. So the value breaks are working very well. If you're not already profitable or you're struggling right now with whatever is going on, I have found that this is the solution. Is the value breaks right here. And yeah, so let's see, any more questions? Is what I'm describing a leap? I don't, nah. Not really. I mean, if you're gonna trade options, I guess you could, but I don't. But I guess you could. If you wanted to. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see. Mute this guy real quick for a minute. Right. Any other questions on the system? And value breaks. Yeah. Be careful with the Greeks. No other questions. All right, well that's gonna wrap it up. If you're not using it and you want to come in, check it out. There is a yep, and hop into the Discord and we'll try to help you out. But if you're already using the systems right now, this is all I'm doing is just the value breaks and trading them, and it's working. I'm just going from zone to zone, trading the value breaks, no candles, following trade shield, and it's working. So and it's even in this crazy chop where prices all over the place, and it's working. And it's not that prices are all over the place, but like we've been in this like sideways range crap since like I don't know, September. Where is it right here? So we're looking at we started to hold that high from August. See that? And we're kind of holding that high right there from August. and we're not really moving too much. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bunch of indecisive batter between whoever is moving the market, however that shit really works. But they're just building positions and letting them go, building positions and letting them go. Even if you read the order flow, like you go look at the orders flowing in the market, they're like, it's almost like they're scalping this shit, man. Like they're build it, get out, build it, get out. I don't see any long-term anything going on, right? You know, pushing up. Like this was a profit taking and then we shoved up again, and now we're just this. Ugh, whatever. I don't know. But we are at the bottom of this range now. If you see this right here, and we've tried to break down so many times and it has not worked. So I'm anticipating if we can get back up over this, we'll probably go bullish for a little while. You know what I mean? Up into here, and then start that whole fucking process again, unless they decide to finally leave this range and try to discover a price up here somewhere. They might even try to drop it down some more and discover down. But the one way to try to find out is to look at monthly end caps. Like where's value resting? And if you look, there you go. Right. So here's a 4 hour. Those are monthly end caps I just put on. Yep. Here's 4 hour candles, and this is what we've been doing since September, and we're like getting rejected out of this monthly one here. And if we can't break over this, then we're probably going to push down to this one down here, and then see what happens from there, right? So these are all the monthly end caps that are not mitigated yet, that will be eventually. So we'll see. But if we can't break through this one right here, we will see more downside, and we'll probably see it as like we're seeing it right now. We're seeing all this this like big channel down of a come on, click, there we go, of price, right? And it could channel all the way down to this end cap down here, and do a bounce and come up and, you know, do this kind of number. Who knows, right? But I'm just reading the chart, and this is what it's showing me. And the end caps are the work. I mean, I just trade the chart, right? And here we go. And this is what it looks like to me. And then we'll see, but we'll see what it does with this end cap here. If we push up over it, then yeah, we should probably see some more upside in this area here, and then we'll probably do this shit again unless it does break over. But I would expect false breakups and try to get people to start buying again, and then they'll probably fuck with us some more. But the bullish and bearish entry points on the value breaks. Yeah, give me 1 second. So we'll go to our 15. And then I drop down to a 15-second candle, and then so I can see the want to see you get more definition in the zones when you do that. Let me turn off these end caps here. All right. So today the only valid entry was this one, and it lost. So here's 930, right? We come up and we interact with this ladder zone right here, right? But we don't have an entry because we need 2 points to draw our trend, our line to get a break, right? So this pushes up at 940, 935, price comes up in here, value area is up in here. We don't have an entry here. So we wait. And then you get a zone here, right? This is one zone right here. And this is another zone. So there's 2 zones. Now you have something to draw to, right? So we're looking at this like that, going end to end. And this is your entry right here. Stop is below value. You target the next zone. We lost. And I mean, you lose trades. So, and then after that, there was no more entries. Honestly, you could have taken this one down here, like this, and scalped this up. But at that point, when I saw this happen, conditions are not good. So I didn't take any more trades I scalped around a little bit, but I didn't take any actual trades. I was just doing little tick scalping. But if you don't have I mean, don't do that. If you don't, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but if you don't have the experience, then that's not a good idea for you to do, is try to tick scalp this stuff. Especially before FOMC like this, price is going to be stagnant. It's going to sit still because they're waiting to see what the news is going to be before they do anything. But yeah, that was the entry. Now for the shorts, like this one right here, Trade Shield was bearish, right? So what are we doing? We're waiting for price or the value area to come into this level right here. We don't do anything until we finally get here, right? Nothing. We absolutely do nothing. This is good. This is Chop City, right? It's unpredictable. Then we bounce up, right, out of the zone, and we're looking for our short. So what do? Well, we have our zone here, and we have a zone there. Well, we don't get any breaks until it finally breaks up here. This is a valid short because we've already interacted with our zone. And now we're just waiting for the break to happen. We get into the short, our stop goes above value, and we target the next zone. My target was all the way down here. Okay. And then I saw stuff flipping around, so I trailed. And I ended up getting like a 10R, something like that. And so that's the short entry. But the most important thing is going with the direction of Trade Shield, right? If Trade Shield is saying don't get into a trade, listen to it, please. Love of God, please. It's smarter than everybody. Just listen to it. Even if you're like, I gotta have it, no, just listen to it, because if an opportunity presents itself, everything will line up. You want to take A+ trades only. The reason why is your B's and C's aren't worth it, because when you take your B's and C's and lose a trade, you have to use your A+ to recover losses and then make no money. So just wait for the A+. Trade Shield is bullish. We're interacting with the ladder level. We're getting a true, at least a 2-zone break. Even if you want to be even more strict, go for 3 zones, right? But I go for 2 and I put risk on there. The next thing is only risk a quarter, or like if you're using 50K prop firm accounts, you only need to be risking like 250 a trade. Okay. So you need to use TradingView or something on NinjaTrader to automate your position size so that when you take this right here, right, you take this breakup from when you click the button, your stop loss is predetermined below value. From here to here, your position size should only be enough to lose whatever your dollar amount is, or if you're using percentage, but most of you are going to use a dollar amount, right? So you only lose $250. That's what I lost this trade today, but I used proper risk management. So I'm not upset about it. I'm okay with it. It happens. And it was just a risk that I know we're trading before federal interest rate and FOMC, and price will go stagnant sometimes on those days. Now, this entry right here is valid for tonight because Trade Shield was bullish, right? We're at the zone, okay? And we had 2 zones created, 1 zone, 2 zones. So here's number 1, right? Here's number 2. And then we had an actual value break. So we enter, our stop goes below the value like that. And then we run to the next ladder. There's your entry. And this is the live one right now. Like we did it earlier. And I wasn't paying attention, or I'd be in this trade, and it sucks. So there's your entry. And then if this goes all the way up, look at that. It's a 14R, this is unreal. It doesn't always happen like that, but that's where your stop goes, below value, right? Because if price comes slipping down here and it's going to keep going down, there's no reason to have your stop any farther down than that. Okay. And because you're dipping below value at that point. So that's it. And then right, if you were to close right now, like you're sitting at an 8R. Okay. That's a decent trade based on your risk. So if you're risking $250, you would have made 8 times $250 right now. But you have to use risk management like that. And you can do it with TradingView where you can punch in, you want to only, use $250 based on where your stop loss is, and it'll calculate all that for you. Or I use Predator order entry on NinjaTrader to do mine. And it just lets me drag this around the stop loss on NinjaTrader, and it auto calculates my position size. But TradingView does the same thing. Like if you go over here, we'll go into a paper trading account real quick. So we're going to trade mode, right? So say I wanted to buy, right? Like right now, which would be stupid, but just say I did. My stop loss would be, what is it? 25,040. So what would I do? I'd come over here and I'd put 25,040, and it's telling me I'm crazy. And then my take profit is what? 25,140. So, oh, right, I did that wrong. So 25,140, 25,040, right? And say I only want to risk $250. So you come to this setting, instead of being on contracts where you're typing how many contracts you want, you go to dollar amount and you say, I only want to risk $250, right? So right now, if I enter this trade and click buy, it's going to put in the amount of contracts to only risk around $250 if my stop loss gets hit, because my stop loss price is set at 25,040, which is right here. Take profit set at 140, which is right here. So it will, if price actually drops to right here, my contract size is going to increase because I'm going to be closer to my stop loss, which means I can put in more contracts, but I'm only risking 250. Does that make sense? Yeah, 15-minute zones, 15-second. The price is just to get to the generation of the zones on a more like a higher resolution. So I'd like the candles. I'm not even trading candles, so I just want to see the definition of the zone. That's all. And that's it. And that's how you can get into an actual risk based on a fixed amount. And you should be doing that with all of your trades. I don't know why people just click and random in contracts and have no idea what the risk is. Right? I mean, well, I'm risking 40 ticks. Okay. Well, is 40 ticks where the validation area is? I don't know. I'm just risking 40 ticks. So you're entering a trade, risking 40 ticks, and however many contracts you just feel like entering, and you wonder why you're not profitable. TradeShield does have alerts. Yes, Ken. So we go into right here, add alert, and you can set TradeShield bullish, bearish, or no trade on whatever asset you want. Or you can go into that watch list right here and you can set the same alert on everything here and you'll get all the alerts. I have that running in Discord right now on webhooks. So whenever assets change, it actually pings a channel in our Discord for everybody on all the assets in my list. So it's letting people know through pings. But yeah, back to position sizing. This is the most, like, everybody starts trading and they I'll do the risk management and position size later. I just want to worry about entries. Okay, well, stop wasting your time, quit trading and do something else. Because if you don't master position sizing, risk management, you're not going to make any money. So entries don't matter at that point. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to have risk management and you got to have position management and how to actually, like, why are you putting in as many contracts are you putting in? Why is your stop loss going there? What happens if I drop my stop loss lower, even though I had it set here and I did a risk of 250? Well, then now you're risking more money and you don't have paying anymore because you just changed it just because you're being optimistic that price might push up if it goes into your stop loss. Right? So you got to think differently. That's not, profitable traders don't think like that. They don't think, well, if this goes into if I go into drawdown, I'm going to be optimistic that price is going to turn around and go back up. Nope. That's not the right way to think. That's the opposite. Like, you need to be optimistic about the winner. Right here, people are going, oh my God, I don't want this to come down. I gotta close. I'm gonna keep the profits. No, you need to be optimistic that this is gonna go all the way up to that take profit. That's what you need to do. You need to be pessimistic when price goes into drawdown and you're like, oh shit, this isn't working. I need to get out of the trade. Not go, I'm gonna hold this and and DCA in and hopefully it'll go up. Those are the ones that are popping accounts. Those are the ones that are not profitable. Those are the ones, those traders, good for them. They're not making money, I promise you. Unless you have an unlimited amount of capital to DCA into everything, you're not gonna make money that way. You have to position size. You have to have proper risk management. You can't just throw in random different kinds of risks just because, right? Set with this, like, even okay, so if you go with a 50K account and you say you risk 250 a trade and you take one trade a day, you've got 10 days of wrong trades before you pop the account. The probability of doing that is slim to none. Especially if you're trading this stuff right here. Like, if you're trading these value breaks, it's gonna be, you're not gonna lose for 10 days in a row. I can't guarantee anything, but I haven't. I haven't had. Actually, this will be my first red day since trading that way because of this trade right here. I didn't continue trading. I probably could have scalped it out of being red, but I was just like, whatever. I traded some other accounts. So there you go. But you really got to nail in the position size and risk management and make that a priority. No, I don't. No, I don't. Mine's set at 15-minute candles. Trade Shield. Oh, Trade Shield? No. Because it doesn't work like that. It works like, what is this doing right here, right? What is the daily doing out of this area right here? That's how Trade Shield works. That's how it functions. There's no need. I just have a 15-minute candle, or no, I think a 5-minute candle on my Trade Shield alerts, and then on the close of those candles, if it changes, then it's going to send an alert. How that works. Okay, the blue box. Oh, this. That's just a visual. That's just the 15-minute orb of the opening day, or the opening candle, or the daily candle. That's just a visualization that I use on this is just for like a development indicator. It isn't something that's pushed out there. It's just used to explain how Trade Shield works, basically. If you just follow this right here on your screen, you'll be fine. That box won't matter. Yeah, it won't even matter. I'm not trading off of it or anything. We're using value. We're using it for the value breaks. That's it. To help determine what our bias is. So if you just follow this religiously, you'll be fine, right? Now I'm not now. So we can. Here's the thing where I get pushback for some people, and they'd be like, "Well, it's saying bullish, but price is dropping." Yeah, it's a pullback. Well, I waited forever, and by the end of the day, it never pushed back up. Okay, so then they just stopped trading for the day. Well, I didn't get another entry. Okay, that's fine. What's wrong with that? Right? Now, could you scalp down and it says bullish and maybe win a trade there? Yes, but you're breaking the statistical probability of your edge when you do stuff like that. I want you to think about that. You're breaking the statistic probability of your edge if you counter trend what your edge is telling you to do. Does that make sense? If you have a system that gives you with thousands of days of sample data that says, hey, 70% of the time when it's doing this, that's what it's going to do. Why on this earth, if you really want to make money trading, would you fight data like that? Really got to think about it. Why would you want to fight something like that? At that point, you're being emotional, you're over trading, and you're just doing the I want my Lambo money now shit. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to pop your account. You're going to lose trades. Maybe one day it works. Hell, maybe it works 3 days in a row. And then that fourth day, oh, fuck. Right? If you stay with the edge, your chances are much higher than fighting against it and being consistent. So just stick with the edge, right? If there's X's there and you see a break like this, don't take it. Leave it alone. Because 5 times out of 10, it dumps on you and turns around and goes the other way. And you're like, fuck, I should have followed the trade shield. It said XXXXX, meaning don't enter, right? Because something was not right. And I mean, if you go into Discord and ask people, what happens if you don't follow trade shield? You lose your account. That's the typical response for people, right? So it's like, this thing's here and it works and it's real. So just use it. It's probably the best tool we've ever built was this little box right here. Now we're building an add-on for NinjaTrader that's using this logic right here, right? That stops you from entering in the wrong direction. If you tried to enter short right now, it wouldn't let you. It'll say no, you can't trade. You're going against trade shield. Yep. And it's got high watermark trailing in it so that you don't give all your profit back if you fuck up and start over trading. It'll just lock the account. So say you go up $1,000 and you lose 80% of that. It's going to save the $200 and shut your account down. You're done for the day and there's nothing you can do about it. Restart your computer if you want. It's locked into you're not going to be able to trade anymore. You're not going to be able to trade against Trade Shield's direction. Yep. We're building in a tilt indicator. We're same thing like actual prop desks use on their traders to detect if they're tilting or not. And it locks your account. Right? That's being built into it. And we're considering building in percentage of balance protection so that you can't over leverage or over position trades. We're thinking about adding that as a feature in it. So that's coming, and that's going to help out a lot of people with their psychology. Because I've been screaming psychology for how long now, Beth? Over a year. I've been screaming it, like, stop fighting systems, stop doing it, like to the membership, the base. Yeah, and then like half of them just keep on right on fucking doing it. Why did you put on 10 minis on that contract? Well, it looked like a good trade, but come on, man. You got to be consistent with your position sizing and your risk management, or you're never going to get it. And it's so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to build tools that's going to force it. And then after 20 plus what is it? 21 days, it'll become a habit to do that stuff. But I'm gonna turn out so many fucking elite traders out of this program. It's going to be unreal when that thing gets released. I can't wait. It's going into beta soon. So if you guys want to use it, you can check it out. But it literally will not let you enter a short right now. It says nope. And you can't turn it off. Once you turn it on, it's on. You can't turn it off. It's in your it's putting it into your registry on the PC. Like it's done. You can't override it, period, until the next session. It's badass. And it's a dashboard, and it's gonna be pretty slick. And I love it because it stopped me personally while testing from getting into stupid ass trades, because I do the same shit sometimes. I won't be paying attention and I'll be like, oh, that looks great. Click. Oh fuck, I just lost $500. You're pedaling backwards at that point. So yeah. Discord link. You got to go to our website. There you go. Here, just go to check out the website. There it is right there. But But yeah, so I hopefully when that comes out, like you guys are gonna utilize that tool to give you accountability on what you're doing, because that's almost what, like, there's so many of you that aren't profitable yet that could be if you just had something forcing your hand on being accountable on doing the right thing, right? And not breaking the edge that you have. And Trade Shield, I think, is going to do that. So I want it out fast. Like, so I've been digging in like a lot of late night days, working on that stuff and try to get it out. Because I think I'm almost convinced when it does come out and it forces your hand on these entries, even if you're entering on TradingView, if you have it running on your VPS, even when you enter it on TradingView, it's not going to let you do the stupid shit. Not. And it's going to be a good thing for a lot of people. And I can't wait until it's there. Here's a live demonstration right here of the system working. Like, we look, see, here we go. See? But yeah, this is a baller ass trade right here, man. Look at that. That's almost 8. Good God. As much as I'd want to hold that all the way up there on an Asia session, pulling an 8R, I'd probably have to like go, okay, I'm taking that one. That's that's pretty good. Anyways, so if we don't have any more questions, let's wrap it up. We're already going into almost 2 hours, and we'll start doing more of these Zoom things. If you want to check out the system, just head to our website, firstlightbeacon.com, and you'll see all the offerings of what we have going on. For all those who keep asking about the automation stuff that we do, we are our automation suites are pretty much invite only, and the reason for that is it used to be open to the public, and then you would just get a lot of people that would come in and that have this like misconceptions that algos can't lose. And they would subscribe, they would get it, they set it up, and then they would max port their accounts, blow their accounts, and then say your shit doesn't work. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. So to protect the brand, we just did it invite only. So how it works is our subscribers right now, that are using our services and our offerings and trading with us and everything else, we pay attention, right? And the ones that don't seem like, I just want a Lambo tomorrow, we'll receive invites, or we open it up to those groups every couple months or whatever. That's how we've been doing it. It's been working out fine. All of our automation users are happy, and we don't have any I want a Lambo tomorrow type traders using the systems and then trying to trash our name afterwards when they blow up their accounts. So that's the purpose behind it. That's why we're doing that. So anyways, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And again, go to firstlightbeacon.com to check out what we've got going on in the system. And we'll take it to there. Thanks, Jerome. But yeah, when I get Trade Shield for the add-on for NinjaTrader into a fully functioning beta state, I'll send out a ping to everybody that wants to try it out on WAP or Discord, and then it'd be nice if we could get a good handful of you to try it, and if there's any issues, let me know on some sim accounts or whatever, and then we can get a production version out faster that way. But yeah, we will see everybody later. Hey, one more thing. We have our First Light Beacon what is it? It's YouTube. That's where we're going to be putting all of this stuff for First Light Beacon from now on. I'm not going to be doing it on the Breakout Hunter one anymore. That's just going to be just posting trades, I guess. I don't know. But if you could just subscribe to that First Light Beacon YouTube one. That's where you're going to start to see, breakdowns and stuff all FLB related. We're trying to separate the FLB from Breakout Hunter completely, and eventually just it's going to be its 100% own identity. Anyways, I will see y'all later, and we will try to get in some trades tomorrow. Again, we got interest rates Wednesday and FOMC Wednesday. Typically the 3-day or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before that happens usually is pretty stagnant. So keep that in mind if you're trying to get into trades, that price might just impulse and then range, right? And that's what it did today. Look, we had our impulse and then it just went straight sideways. Okay, so keep that in mind on those days. Pay attention to the news, and when stuff like that is happening that week, just expect it. Like me, I don't even trade Mondays anymore on FOMC weeks because they historically are horrible, and it's not risk putting your capital on the line knowing that there's a chance that you're just gonna do this. It's not worth it. The market's not going to change and do something else just because you wanted to, right? So you got to work with what you're given. And we know that before Fed interest rates that week, that it's usually pretty balanced out. They don't push price around a lot because they're going to impulse it when those decisions are made on the interest rates and FOMC releases of the meetings and whatever, so that they can make a bunch of money real fast. And that's what happens. Or they're just building positions throughout the whole week and then they explode it, right? So just keep that in mind, and we'll see y'all later.